Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm working on the Ford F-150. This is a 2016 F-150. It's got the 2.7 liter Ecoboost motor, and I'm changing the spark plugs out, so stay tuned to see how that's done. I just finished up the oil pan. This had an oil pan leak. So I just finished that up, and so now I'm just gonna slowly kind of make my way through the truck, getting some things done, maintenance-wise, changing out the spark plugs. We're gonna do belts, fluids, filters, things like that, just to get everything freshened up since it does have a lot of miles. This is my high mileage F-150. It has 266,000 miles on this Ecoboost motor. I just bought it a couple months ago, so I didn't put those miles on it, but I want to just kind of refresh everything, make sure everything's good to go. So I want to just quickly do a kind of an overview tutorial of how to do the spark plugs. So we'll go over a few things you want to get so that you can get started with this project. Okay, a few of the things you're going to need. Obviously, you're going to need new spark plugs. The Ford parts finder said I needed this one for my truck, the SP578. You also need a feeler gauge. So generally, the gap should be close on all of these. I'm going to check it, though. The gap range is going to be 0.28 to 0.31. So if we see on the 0.25, this is 0.3. So this one's probably about 0.28, 0.29. So that one's good. I'm going to go through. I'm going to check all of those. Once you get your plugs out, you're going to want to use some anti-seize lubricant on the threads. Now, get this high temp stuff. This is for spark plugs specifically. It's high temp, up to 1800 degrees. You're just going to put a little bit of this on the threads, the upper part of the thread. And then this is just a little dielectric grease to connect the boot to the top of the electrode. Okay, a couple of the tools we're going to need. I'm going to use a 3/8 wrench with an extension, with a wobble extension. And this is a 5/8 spark plug socket. So I'm going to use that. I'm also going to use, to torque down the spark plugs, an inch-pound torque wrench. They're torqued down to 113 inch-pounds. Okay, there's two 10mm bolts on top of the cover here. One there, one on this side. You can leave your oil cap on. The coil packs here, this is cylinder 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to lift a couple of these clips off from the wire loom. Just lift them off the studs like that. And then in order to get the coil pack off, you have to take off this 8mm, a deep 8, to be able to get that off. Okay, so we just take off that bolt, set that aside. We're just going to disconnect the electrical clip right here. All right, with the clips on these, if you see there's a little tab. If you just push the tab back, and then you can pull off the clip. A little turn, and we extract it out. These wires are a little bit in the way, this first one. Okay, I'm just looking now just to inspect the boot, make sure the boot's not cracked or torn or corroded. Looks pretty good, actually. Okay, we have a little compressed air here. We're just going to blow out this. Grease. Okay, you want to get the spark plug threaded in by hand first, so you make sure you don't cross-thread it. Okay, here I am working on cylinder 2 now. All of the cylinders are pretty similar. The only one that's difficult is number 3, the far back passenger one. I'm going to show you the procedure I used to get that one. Otherwise, you basically just do the same thing 6 times to be able to remove and replace the spark plugs. Okay, one key to getting back to cylinder number 3 is you have to lay down on top of the engine, basically. So I just found this boogie board out back in our pool equipment stuff. So you just want to lay this down like over the front part of the bumper and the battery area, so it's just supporting your weight. And you lay this down so that you can get back to it. That's the big challenge to cylinder 3, is just being able to reach to the back of the engine. Okay, we have this pipe here. We've got this wire loom right here. And so that tab right there is the coil pack. So if I can just, okay, clip that there. All right, I got it unplugged. All right, so you can get the coil pack out. That wasn't too bad. Now getting the spark plug out requires a use of two different sized extensions, and I'll show you how those work. But once you get the get it cracked open, I'm just loosening it with by hand to extract the plug. All right, got the Okay, the extension size I use, this is a 6-inch extension on top of the socket. And then once I put this down into the spark plug hole, it sits down about this far, about right there. There's that much on top. And then I'll use a 3-inch extension to be able to get my wrench on it and loosen it up. And then once I've loosened it up, I'll take the 3-inch off like this and then hand thread it out so that you can pull it up, because there's not a lot of room by the firewall to be able to pull a full 9-inch extension out. So you have to be able to break the 6 and the 3 extensions apart. So anyways, it wasn't as bad. Just I think you need this combination of extensions to be able to get down to the plug. Okay, so here I am inserting the new spark plug into cylinder 3 in the back. I'm just using my 6-inch extension to be able to drop it down in. I'm going to hand thread it in until it stops, and then I'll put my 3-inch extension on top and torque it down. Okay, so here I'm putting back the coil pack in. I'm putting it in from the left side down under the wiring harness that comes across the top of the spark plug hole. So come in from the left side of the engine and then just drop it down in. Luckily the boots are really flexible, so it flexes down in. You can maneuver it down under the wiring loom. Okay, now I'm just tightening down the retaining nut. All right, now finally just reconnecting the electrical connector. Cylinder 3 is all done. It really isn't that bad once you can get back there. Okay, now this is the driver's side bank. These are the 3 cylinders on the driver's side, cylinder 3, 4, and 5. The only tricky part here is you just have to remove this black hose that's right across the top of the coil pack of cylinder 4. So there's just a little clip. You basically release the tension on the clip and just pull up, and then that pipe will just slide out of the way. Okay, so that was the spark plug job. It went pretty smoothly. Cylinder 3 was took a little bit longer, like I said, and then just removing that pipe on cylinder 4. Otherwise, pretty straightforward job. Not too bad at all. I just took it on a test drive. It's running smooth. It's idling smooth, so I'm happy with that. I think it definitely needed to be replaced. So check out the link in the description to the playlist. So I've got a lot of projects with this truck. So check out the playlist. I put all those project videos into that playlist. So check those out. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.